Hello, Dr. Greg here again, and another video about sugar. And this one is sugar's link to cancer. Now, you'll hear a lot of stuff or read a lot of stuff on the internet about how sugar has no link to cancer. So I had to do a lot of digging, and I found that there was a study done over 50 years ago by the Sugar Research Foundation, who got some money to do this research back then, close to $50,000 to $100,000, which is a lot of money in the 60s in comparison to what that is worth today. And they came up with some interesting things. Not necessarily a direct link. However, I'm going to just read a few things about the link of sugar to cancer, and it's mainly the ingredients in table sugar is fructose and sucrose, and that's what they fed rats. Now, they had rats that had a normal rat diet, and they had rats that had a high sucrose diet, and this is what they discovered. So, an article published about, this was not 50 years ago, but just like last month, in the journal Biology, cites internal documents by the Sugar Research Foundation suggesting the knowledge of a possible link between cancer and sugar. And that goes way back to the 60s. So that's the 50-year unmasking of this research that was never published. It was never published 60 years ago. He explained that the study observed that the urine from rats fed a basic diet had a higher inhibitor to what's called beta-glucuronidase. Now, the rats that had a high sucrose diet had less of the inhibitor to this beta-glucuronidase. Now, Dr. Undurti and Das highlighted the fact that fructose, which, as I said earlier, constitutes part of the table sugar along with sucrose, changes the cell's metabolism and raises the activity of cancer-promoting cells. Now, here's the interesting, you see, table sugar is glucose and fructose and maybe sucrose. What they're saying, it's not the glucose that has done this, but it's the fructose and the sucrose that has done this. So again, giving you knowledge that maybe glucose doesn't change the cell's metabolism, but maybe sucrose and fructose does. And I'm going to talk about non-alcoholic liver disease in the next final videos. The cancer video is probably going to be a couple of parts because it's pretty convoluted and complex. But here's the interesting thing, that this beta-glucuronidase is an enzyme, right? Now, the rats that ate a normal diet had higher inhibitors to this enzyme, and the rats that had a higher sucrose diet had a low inhibitors to this enzyme. Now, the enzyme helps break large molecules, large things. It also plays a role in cancer. So I'm just telling you what the possible link is. Just the research that was done 50 years ago, and this is finally sort of spilled out a little bit. So these rats had higher inhibitors to this enzyme when they didn't eat sugar, and the ones that did had a lower inhibitor to the enzyme. So, and then fructose and sucrose by this Dr. Undurti Das shows that there is a link between that and cell metabolism change that could actually cause a problem with cancer. That's all I'm saying. That's the only research I've found so far. I'm still hunting and will be definitive. But with that being said, if I don't have anything more than this, I'll have a different video next week on probably liver disease and fructose. And then we're going to be wrapping up sugar. I'll probably come back to it again if you call for it, but right now I'm exhausted. This has been a long haul with sugar problems. So that's all I have to say for now. This is Dr. Greg, changing the way you look at health.